Perfect.
Good evening, hello, how are we doing? Welcome to the Matchday 4 deadline stream, round of 32, a very jam-packed match day. How are we all feeling? I've made some more changes to my team. I'm going to talk a little bit over that in the stream today. But yeah, it's going to be all over the place, I think. We could be looking at a similar match day to last week. I have been making changes outside of the stream today as well. You know, I think most of the changes, if not all of the changes, will be coming in defence. If there is any changes, but there's definitely going to be some chopping around, switching around with some of these defenders. And it's just kind of trying to work out for me at this moment in time who I really want to be picking. Because there's a large group of players, I think, for me at this stage. But obviously we'll get into that. How are we all? Man like KB, how are we? As we Mala must have this match day. I think for me I would probably want him. Yeah, I'm going to move the camera down a little bit. I would probably want Yamal. I think his kind of fitness issues are kind of sorted now, and I'd imagine he'll be a 90-minute player going forward in the knockouts. Andrew, how's it going? Daniel, how are we? John, how's it going? Team nearly set, just debating between an England defender or Brazil defender. Again, that's kind of something I've been moving about with. Konza is very close to hitting that 5% mark, unfortunately. I think if I refresh, maybe I already have refreshed, but I think if I refresh, it looks as though Konza's, yeah, so Konza's at 4.8%, which isn't ideal. Yeah, Konza's at 4.8%, and I don't really know what I'm going to do there with the England defence. I'll maybe just move straight on to O'Reilly. But I have taken out Santos, who I had as well for Brazil. Samantha, how are we? Thoughts on Ream for USA? I think if I was going for a scouting bonus one, I would probably rather just go for Robinson. You can go Robinson, you can go for Friesen goals as well. I don't know if Ream is absolutely nailed. It seems to be the centre-backs are going to be like Richards and Freeman. And then if it's a 5-back, then Ream could play, but I wouldn't like guarantee it. So I'm not 100% on that. I think if I was just going scouting bonus, it would just be Robinson. Mr. Frazads, how are we? Zafods, how are we? Need another 10 million in budget. I don't actually think it seems like it's pretty okay in terms of budget. I'm having a little bit of an issue, but that's because I've got so many premiums in midfield, and I have kind of moved things about. A lot of people seem to find it too easy to build a team right now. Yeah, look, that team looks great. Every single player there I would have on a short list. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I like that team. Thinking about Danny Olmo over Yamal. Didn't look very sharp against Uruguay. It's a big risk. Like, Olmo's not really the kind of guy I would be expecting to carry Spain over the line with a big haul. I feel like it's Yamal or Oyarzabal for me in terms of Spain attack. Any thoughts on Spence? John, I did speak about it on Twitter today. I put a tweet out asking if he was nailed. No one really seems to think he is nailed. It seems to be that he'll probably play the round of 32, but then after that it's kind of up in the air. And I've seen a few comments about, what's his name? Konza playing it right back. Sahar, I was about to time you out there and I've seen police or crime, but it's translated to Pulisic or Manzambi. I am still going to time you out though because you are spamming in the chat. However, to answer your question, I would go for Manzambi. Why Nico Williams won't play? I'm pretty sure he's injured for the... I seen something about an injury with him. I'm not sure if it's a long-term thing or if it will just be for a couple of matches, but it looks as though he's going to be injured for a little bit. No, David. I have been between David and Balogun. I'll keep an eye on ownership for the next hour or two. If Balogun kind of rises towards it, then maybe. But yeah, I've decided to go on Balogun. Not fully convinced yet, because obviously I think the good thing like with David is David's probably like the clear best Canadian player to go for. Whereas I've obviously got like Alistair Johnston who in defence who I'm not 100% on, whereas I would probably feel more comfortable going for David up front and then a USA defender. But for now I'm going Balogun. I do prefer Balogun overall in this match. I think there's a better chance that Balogun does something against Bosnia than David against South Africa, but they're both still really good picks, and I think that is your cheap kind of choice. I think up front, if you're going for someone, it has to be one of those two. Thoughts on Llorente? Or is it too close to scouting bonus to risk? I probably wouldn't risk anyway. I think like scouting bonus is you've got to be sure. I think with scouting bonus, I'm not sure what he's at right now in terms of percentage, but yeah, I mean, he's also a minutes risk for Porro as well. We saw Porro start one game already. Where's he at? 4.8. Yeah, I think I'd just leave it. Go for like a Cucurella, and just play that safe. Or whoever you prefer, really. Why not Fries from USA over Martinez? I've got Fries as my second goalkeeper. And do Medina for Argentina instead. I think I'm happy with Martinez at centre back. I think he's definitely going to start all the games. That's kind of why I've brought him in. And I don't think Medina offers enough going forward that he's a better option than the other defenders. out of interest, why no Cucurella or Spanish defender? I'm going to be honest, it's something that I have been considering. I've got 1.9 million in the bank, and I've definitely, like, I've been doing this and just taking Johnston out and buying Cucurella. That leaves me with money in the bank. It's definitely something that I'm interested in, and to be honest, looking at the clean sheet odds and stuff like that, I probably should get a Spanish defender in. So yeah. Is Ta a minutes risk? He's 3.3% owned at the minute. I had Ta in my team about half an hour ago. Before the stream, when I was moving everything around, I did have Ta in here. I did decide just to go for Kimmich. The reason is because I think with the German defence, it's like a 1 week thing. You know, if I bring Ta in, if I bring Kimmich in, they're probably going to be transferred out next week with one of my 4 free transfers. So I'm not really, like, it's more who can get the most points against Paraguay. Kimmich is the joint assister so far. I think he's kind of been overlooked a little bit. He has done, like, he's not really been outstanding. You know, his points aren't really there. He's got an assist there in that game there, and I swear he had an assist as well. Did it maybe not get counted in fantasy terms? Because I was looking here on FUTMob, Germany, World Cup 26, Kimmich with 2 assists. Especially as well when we scroll down and we see big chances created, 4 big chances created for Kimmich, 8 total chances created, so he's very much involved, and I think Ta's fine. I think he will play. He is pretty much nailed normally anyway, and now it'll be Rudiger coming in beside him, but I think for the sake of 2 points, I'd rather just go for Kimmich, who's got a much higher ceiling, rather than just kind of relying on the scouting bonus. Oops, not Fries, meant Vargas from Colombia. Vargas and Fries having Medina in. Alright, okay. Yeah, Vargas, I've kind of moved about with him as well. Vargas and Fries I'm interested in. I was tempted. I know you've kind of, I think maybe Medina would be my second Argentina option. I think, again, something I've been moving around with is the Colombia goalkeeper and Munoz. Because it's something I could do is put Vargas in with Fries and then go for a second Argentina defender instead of Munoz. That gives me another scouting bonus goalkeeper. But Martinez is a great pick, you know, long term as well. So I'll maybe just stick with him. Is one England player a must? I mean, probably. I think I would have at least one. I think I would have at least one England player. Kane, Bellingham, any of the defenders. I think you should be able to fit one in fairly easily. Struggling to choose between David and Oyarzabal. I'd probably just go David. I think if you're going for a cheap striker, David or Balogun's kind of the option alongside Messi and Mbappe. Fancying Sarr. Who are they playing again? Belgium? I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. There's probably better attacking options this week. But Sarr, he's been playing well. You're not worried about Konza being benched for Stones? I feel like Konza just seems to be very liked under Tuchel. I think he started the majority of games under him, and I think he's been the only defender that's played all 3 group stage games as well. The only thing I'm worried about with Konza is ownership. If he goes above 5, then I'll be taking him out. But I do think Konza will start as a centre back and maybe move to right back. How about having both Dembele and Elise and dropping Lamine Yamal? Nah, I think Yamal gives a really nice captaincy against Austria. Elise, I'm tempted by Elise. I don't know if it's maybe just like a knee-jerk thing. I was speaking about it a bit on the team selection about Dembele and Elise. Both are class, but I don't know. I don't really know who to go for, to be honest. It's tough. Dembele off the right, though, played fantastically. Obviously, that's where Elise plays for... Obviously, that's where Elise plays for Bayern, and he's kind of moving through the middle now, so I don't know if that reduces his output a little bit more. I don't know. How are my defenders? Mendes, Kimmich, Molina, Cucurella and Munoz. Really nice. I like it. Any doubts on Yamal's fitness in general? I think he should be fine. I think that's him now had 3 matches now to kind of get back up to speed. Now we're into the actual like lock-in point of the tournament. I can see his minutes being absolutely fine. Hello, just wanted to ask, is Nathaniel Brown of Germany injured? He is a bit of a fitness issue. That's all I know on him so far. I think he is still expected to start, but it's kind of, you know, like it could be a bit of a risky one. I think Elise is ultimately more consistent. That's fair. Is he cheaper as well? I think he should be a bit cheaper than Dembele. Off topic, but why on earth does Perisic need to be a forward? I've got no idea who decided the positions for this game, because there's so many forwards in here that should be listed as midfielders. Am I going with Davies if he's starting? Nah. It's not a bad shout, but nah, probably not. No Kane for me right now. I just feel like it's a bit too tough to get him in, and I think hopefully Bellingham can kind of cover him. Not as much as, like, he's not just a straight 1-for-1 cover, but I don't really have any other option at the end of the day. I am playing the qualification booster, yeah. That is active. I'm probably going to opt out of choosing any French players because there's no standout player and it seems like they take turns collecting points. Their path isn't the easiest. I mean, I would expect them to take, you know, Holland took 5 off of Sweden already in this tournament. I mean, I think you should be safe, obviously, with a double attack, covering off whoever does get the goals in that game, or in that team. I think France could take quite a few off them, and I think they should beat Germany as well fairly comfortably. Not the best of fixtures, but you wouldn't change Cucurella for someone else. I've been moving it about. I will kind of move stuff around in the stream today, but I've just kind of put them in now. When using the qualification booster, is the scout bonus lost? So the qualification booster comes on after the points, so it doesn't count towards scouting bonus. So if your player gets 5 points, if your player gets 5 points and then they get scouting bonus and get 7 points, and if they qualify they'll get that extra 2 points, so they'll get 9 points. But if your player gets 3 points, they don't get scouting bonus, then they'll get the qualification booster points to take them to 5. So the qualification booster won't count towards scouting bonus. Why Martinez instead of Medina or Molina? I think, is it Molina that's the one that's, I think he's a bit too much of a minutes risk. I'm not 100% sure he starts. Medina, he looks okay, but again, he's like, the attacking output for Argentina hasn't been fantastic, that it really makes a big difference as to who the best defender is going to be. So I've just gone for Martinez because I know he's going to play. I think there's a chance that Medina potentially gets benched for like a Tagliafico or something like that. So in terms of chances created, Medina has 1, Martinez has 1. You know, there's not like a massive output from any of the fullbacks for Argentina. How does USA double defense sound? Is it too big of a risk? I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'd probably just go 1 and leave it at that. Scouting bonus and qualification bonus don't stack. No, so they do stack, but you have to get both. So like one doesn't count towards the other. Like obviously scouting bonus won't count towards qualification. If the team qualifies, they get the qualification points. But if you get the qualification points, that won't count towards your scouting bonus. So if you, let's say you've got, like, let's see who have I got in my team. I'm trying to think of someone. So let's say Fries, for example, 3.4% owned, will get scouting bonus. If he gets the clean sheet to take him to 7, and then he'll get the scouting bonus on top of that to 9 points, and then if USA go through, then he goes to 11. But if they don't keep a clean sheet, the qualification bonus points go on to Fries, but they don't count towards his scouting bonus. So if the qualification bonus points take him above the 4-point threshold, it doesn't matter, he won't get scouting bonus. So he has to get the scouting bonus points normally, and then the qualification bonus points come on top of that. By the way, I wanted to, do you know what I'm going to do actually? Let me just, I need my, no, I don't think I've got it. I'm going to ask a favour. Because I forgot to save the website, but see anyone that watched last week's deadline stream or during the week, anyone that watched the Opta website that we were using to track the scouting bonus, has anyone got that? Because I totally forgot to save it. I also think I need to wipe this because my hand is kind of like, there we go, that's better. No, so scouting bonus will still count for 120 minutes. Can't afford Martinez, who's nailed in Argentina defense. I don't know how much the rest of them are. 4.6. I mean, you're probably best just going for Medina then at 4 million. Right, I think what I really can't see. Do you know what I want to do? Right, let's jump over to Twitter. I think I bookmarked. I did. So I bookmarked this, which you should be able to see okay. And this is Fran's projected goals and clean sheets. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to whip the notepad out. There we go. And add that. And then I want to put it somewhere that you will be able to see it okay. It doesn't block. That'll work. Let me put it here. So I want to make a short list because I feel like it's something we've not done yet, and there's too many players right now that I'm all over the place with. So I want to look at goalkeepers and defenders, right? So let's look purely at goalies and defenders. In terms of the teams that we want to get, we want to go Argentina, and I'm thinking to France. Now the only person I think really from France I would consider in defence at least, because I definitely want the double attack, whether that's Mbappe and Dembele or Mbappe and Elise, the other one would be a defender, and it would probably be Theo Hernandez. We've got Germany, and again, I would probably only want one German because they've got France next, more than likely. So probably wouldn't want to look in there. England, I'd be interested in 2 England, so I'm gonna put 1 or 2. USA is probably just a 1 for me. Spain again, probably just a 1. And then we kind of go a bit lower than that, don't we, after that, in terms of... oh no, sorry, I've been looking at projected goals. Hold on. Typical. Okay, so clean sheets is on the right. Spain. After England. Then we get Germany. Okay, so France aren't really even there for clean sheet odds, so I'll remove France because I probably wouldn't do that then if they're lower if they're that much lower than everyone else. And then we got Colombia, and I would probably go for a 1 there as well. Then we go a little bit lower than that as well. France, Canada. This is just for defenders, by the way. Got the link for the scouting bonus. Stavia, what's the what is it called again? What's the website called? I'll just Google it. I think you might be right in terms of them getting blocked though. And then there's also, I mean, I'll add in France and Canada while we're here. Oh. France, Canada. Are we thinking Mexico as well? I mean, that's maybe a bit too much of a stretch. I really think Mexico's clean sheet chances should be a lot higher than 43%. WCF Scouting, thank you very much. Appreciate it. There we are. That's the one. Pulisic no longer eligible. Gakpo. So yeah, Konza's expected to go up before the match day, unfortunately. So he's no longer going to be that great an option. Crepo's up to 4.7. Not expected to hit it before the match day though. I mean, De Bruyne could fall below. Is anyone thinking of De Bruyne? It's obviously not a great fixture with Senegal, but if you back Belgium at all, then Senegal and USA on paper isn't awful, is it? But he's not projected to fall before the match day. But again, one to keep an eye on. Anyway, where were we? Right, that's what I'm thinking for defence. And then in terms of the players, Argentina, we're going Martinez. In terms of goalies, I don't think I'd be picking Pickford, Simon, Neuer, Fries, Vargas, and then Crepo. It's probably my 4 picks for goalkeeper. How does it work with 120-minute games? Just the same way it would with the 90. The only thing is if, like, the only impact that 120-minute games has is on substitutes. So if a defender comes on in the 55th minute and they play the whole game and they don't concede, then they'll get clean sheet points. That's really the only difference that it makes. Okay, and then in defense for Argentina, we're going Martinez and Medina, really. I think that's probably the only 2 I'd be interested in. For England, Konza's kind of off the market now. O'Reilly. I don't really think Spence is an option. I mean, maybe Gay. No, Gay's not even above 5% either. So yeah, probably just O'Reilly from England now. Back to Belgium during the group stage, never again. I don't think I picked a Belgian, thankfully. Did you back Trossard in matchday 3 at least? Hopefully. What do you think about McKennie? Nah. I mean, I'd rather go for Pulisic in midfield. Why not Konza? He looks like he's going to go above 5%, and he doesn't really offer anything else. Do I think Llorenti's worth it at 5.5? I would just go Cucurella, just get the cheaper one. Spain, I'm really only on Cucurella as well. I think. Let's have a look. Anyone from Spain really standing out in defence? Chances created. I mean, yeah, Llorente. Where was Llorente there? Yeah, Llorente is kind of creating some chances and stuff like that. Llorente is probably your best Spain choice, isn't he? But he's just not nailed. Cucurella's got higher expected assists. Yeah, I'd just go Cucurella. Just play the safe one. Germany. From Germany, I like Kimmich and I like Ta. I also like Brown, but yeah, fitness issues probably rule him out for me. USA, Robinson and Dest are probably the two. Colombia, Munoz, and I like Davinson Sanchez. I wanted to actually talk about this in the stream. So when we look at Colombia, again, obviously Munoz has smashed it out of the park. I think he's got what, two goals so far. Is it 2 goals? I believe it's 2 goals. XG wise, he's sitting second, only behind Diaz. XG per 90, sitting at the top. But in terms of like chances created, 4 chances created for Davinson Sanchez so far. Only 1 for Daniel Munoz. So obviously Munoz is getting in the scoring positions. Arias is obviously got 5 in there as well. But Munoz and Mujica only 4. 4 chances created for Davinson Sanchez is pretty big. What was the other one? Is it big chances created? No, so no big chances created from any of the defenders. Expected assists, 0.1. Oh, that's a whole advert that I've just clicked. 0.1, and again, not really much of a difference. So Davinson Sanchez has actually got like 1.6% ownership. He's only 4.3 million. So I'm tempted to go there instead of Munoz, and then can I get that scouting bonus on top? It's just an idea. France, it would be Hernandez. And then Canada, it would be Johnston. I don't really think I'd go anywhere else. Don't like Germany at all, expecting 1 each or 2-1 for them. They have been pretty hit and miss, Germany. Saw somewhere that Davies might start at left wing. Oh, that would kind of change things up a bit, wouldn't it? Alif, how are we? I think it's kind of 50-50 between Balogun and David. I prefer Balogun's fixture in the round of 16 than David's. Right. So, that's where I'm at. Goalkeeper shortlist. And defender shortlist. I think that's a pretty good list. It's short enough as well. South Africa are mince. I think Fries is the best option for US, as Dest is 8% and Robinson's over. Robinson's very overpriced. Oh, lineups are out. Canada soccer. Alright, well there you go. No Davies. On the bench. Oh, and that, I don't know what his name is, how you say it, De Forgeroles. He's also on the bench. Seen him in a few drafts today. Yeah, okay. So, if we bring this back up. Really what, I mean, it's just trying to, like, that's a pretty small list, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 defenders. And we just need to pick 5 of them. And then we'll go for goalkeepers. Can I bold in this? I don't know if I can. No. Bold isn't an option, unfortunately. Notepad's not that advanced. One goalkeeper on each side of the bracket would be interesting. Leaning towards David now. But Netherlands or Morocco is waiting. US defender for sure. Do we think? Well, I feel like Fries is a good option. I don't know. Like Dest doesn't. I think I would prefer to go for Robinson over Dest, and I think if I'm honest, I'm just going to remove Dest from the shortlist because if I was going to go for, if it was going to be picking a USA defender, then I would just go Robinson for the scouting bonus. Do you prefer Saibari or Trossard? Probably Trossard. I mean, I don't really like any of them. I mean, Trossard against Senegal or Saibari against Holland. I mean, maybe I'd probably just go Saibari. I think he's more of a better long-term pick. And he can still get something against Netherlands because they seem to concede a goal every game. Dest literally plays on the wing. I know, but he's not really, like, his stats aren't that great. Where are we? Chances created. I mean, the same amount as Robinson. Only 2 chances created. No big chances created. Expected assists. Oh, why did I keep clicking that? Expected assists for fullbacks 0.2. Like it's not very appealing stats. Really, at the end of the day. Shots per 90 is kind of where he looks a little bit better. 1.6 shots per 90. But it's nothing special. So I think I'd rather just go for Robinson and just get the scouting bonus. Tough call between gambling and low percentage or picking a beast. I know, it depends. Obviously, it depends on the formation as well, doesn't it? I think I probably won't go for a French defender either. So let's narrow that down again. Which leaves me with that. What are your thoughts on a Dutch defender like Dumfries? The winner of Netherlands-Morocco would have a pretty favourable fixture. Yeah, I like Dumfries, but I probably would just go and wait until next week. 4 transfers is a good amount, considering that we're expecting, like, we're building teams right now for our players making it through to the next round. So we should have a full team of players with decent enough fixtures. 4 transfers is going to be a lot to make some good moves. And I'd just be making transfers and transferring someone like Dumfries in or Hakimi, depending who makes it through. If we do start with like a Kimmich, that's a good easy swap. Kimmich playing against France in the round of 16 can just move him out, bring Dumfries in. So yeah, I think he is capable, obviously, of getting something in this match, but anyone could go through between Netherlands and Morocco, and when we're using a qualification booster chip, I feel like it just makes sense to go for the teams that we are very sure are going to go through. So yeah, I'm just use a transfer instead. Right, let's order, shall we? In terms of, I mean, it probably is already in order, isn't it? I'd probably go that, though. And then, yeah. I think that would be my order of defenders. In which case, we've already got Martinez. I'll just get O'Reilly in here. So there's no point in waiting for Konza because he'll definitely go up. Get rid of Robinson. What makes you think Medina's starting? Tagliafico's now fit. I mean, that's kind of why he's not in my final starting 11. He is probably the best option to go for in defence outside of Martinez. But I think that's kind of why I've got Martinez in goals as well, because I know both Martinez's are going to start in defence. I feel like everyone else is, kind of all over the place. So now that you've said that, I'm going to remove Medina because I'm not 100% he is going to start. Leaves me with this. So we've got Martinez in the team. I've got O'Reilly in the team. I've got Cucurella in the team. I've got Kimmich in the team. And I've got Munoz in the team. I mean, I'd probably just go for that, right? Martinez, Freeman. Yeah, that's pretty similar. Okay. I mean, I like that. It seems pretty solid to me. I am tempted by Sanchez over Munoz, though. I am tempted. Why not Santos from Brazil? The only reason I've went off him is because the clean sheet odds aren't as high as I would have liked. For Brazil, they're down here in 11th place. Yeah, he gets scouting bonus, but he's not really been like attacking either. So I really only had him in my original team because he was getting scouting bonus, but it's probably not that great a fixture. And then I think they play Ivory Coast or Norway. I think if Norway go through, which they're projected to, there's a good chance they score as well. What chip? I'm using the qualification booster. I don't know. I'm tempted by Sanchez, I'm not gonna lie. And then do we do midfielders? Is it worth it? Still like having some Colombia player. Unsure about Diaz. Too little managers picking Haaland. I don't know. I think Ivory Coast have looked very, very good defensively. I mean, they kept a clean sheet against Ecuador. They kept a clean sheet against Curacao. And they were very good defensively against Germany outside of that last-minute goal. Do you think Vinny's a strong pick versus a strong Japanese defence? I don't think the Japanese defence is that amazing. Not You know, the Brazil attack is great as well. It was a 2 each game between Netherlands and Japan, so I can definitely see Brazil getting a few. It could be one of those high scoring games. Martinez doesn't have scouting bonus. All other Argentinian defenders are not nailed. Yeah, if you want to pick an Argentinian player, you've just got to kind of accept that you're not getting scouting bonus there. But I think what you've got to look at as well is as good as scouting bonus is, we're trying to get points, and I think Argentina defenders are going to be the highest scoring defenders in the round of 32 and the round of 16. Because there's such a good chance that they get 2 clean sheets in those games. So whether it's scouting bonus or not, I think you're still getting points on the board. Why Dembele over Elise hat-trick bias? It might be. It might just be. Yeah. Dembele's done really well outside of that, I think, as well, is he not? Yeah, you get 12 points against Iraq as well with a goal and an assist. So he's done really nicely. So, yeah. Between him and Elise, it's kind of just a 50-50 though. Thoughts on Saliba of Canada? Let's check. Let's see how he looks. 2 assists so far, 1 goal. See, look at that as well. Alistair Johnson, 3rd for shots on target per 90. It's another nice defender. Saliba's up there too. Alistair Johnson, 19. Oh, and now I really want Johnston. 9 chances created. Highest chances created for Canada. Saliba down in 4. Highest expected assists in there as well. Oh jeez, he's like top of all these. Big chances created, chances, XA. I kind of want him now. Who comes out though? I think if I was to do that, it would have to be Munoz. It would probably end up being Munoz to Johnson, and then we get Vargas in goal. It is an instant transfer out the next day. And the next match day. But we're kind of prepared for that anyway. I don't have a captain for tonight's game. It would give me an option. Stats are inflated because they played Qatar. No, but that's just Canada's stats though. So everyone from Canada played Qatar. They got like 1.2 XG versus Qatar. It would be way better to have a scouting bonus keeper before Martinez. Yeah, I suppose you're not wrong there. I guess maybe what about Kimmich then? I'd struggle to take, because Kimmich is also a transfer out next week. Kimmich is a transfer out, and Johnson's a transfer out. All those chances created are for David. It's a little bit of fun, isn't it? Scouting bonus defender. Andy plays for Celtic. And if you know, you know. Oh no, who's here? Kukurea. What are you doing with the money upgrading Manzambi? I probably would, yeah. I mean, something along those lines anyway. I mean, at that point, I just trust Kimmich more than Johnston. Does qualification bonus count for all 15 or just your final? Just your final, Andy. Your final 11 is the only 11 players that will get qualification bonus towards it. Johnson over O'Reilly as I think England concede. Yamal is overrated in terms of fantasy points. Thinking of removing him, putting Kane in. I made that mistake last year in Champions League fantasy, and I never had Yamal for ages. And then he just kept going for more and more points, and it was annoying. So I think I'll keep Yamal. Germany haven't kept a clean sheet in the World Cup since the 2014 final. Yeah. Why not? Let's do it. Let's have a bit of fun, shall we? Might as well pick a differential. End of the day, I'm getting scouting bonus on top of that as well. Canada are expected to qualify. If they don't, it's a substitute. If you were to pick between Hakimi and Dumfries, I probably would just go Dumfries. I think, based on like just pure personal predictions, I think Holland will beat Morocco. So I'd just go Dumfries. I don't think either of them will keep a clean sheet though. What's your view on Haaland? It's too much money. It's too much. It's probably the worst premium you can go for up front, I think. Mbappe, Messi, Kane, I think all take priority. Did my own draft and we both get the same midfielders. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty template midfield, to be honest. It seems to be that everyone's got Vinicius, Dembele and Yamal, and then a lot of people are going to have to go Manzambi for a differential, and then it might just be that, or for the budget, sorry, and it might just be that Bellingham could be the only one that kind of looks a bit different. Would you choose Konza if he stays under 5%? I would, yeah. I think if Konza remains under 5, then I would keep him, but according to this, it looks unlikely. Oh no, it's changed now. It has changed. We'll see what happens. Although I don't think he's going to drop below. We'll see. I mean, this is kind of a live tracker anyway, isn't it? Only your first 11 players get the bonus. I think I said that, didn't I? Sorry if I didn't. But yeah, only the 11 players, not the whole 15. What is that percentage website? It is, I'll put it in the chat again. Steve Shah thankfully sorted us out. Bear with. Spence nailed. Not from what I tweeted something today. If you want to contribute, then do. But I tweeted this today. Is Spence nailed now for England with the injuries? And we had a few people nailed against Congo, but I doubt after that. Avoid anyone that's not Kane and Pickford. Kwanzaa at right back, maybe. Depends on Kwanzaa. So a lot of doubt, I think, by the looks of things. Thoughts on Vargas? For Switzerland I like, and for Colombia I like, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but both I think are good picks. Would you consider triple French attack? Probably not. I mean, they're all obviously great, but nah, I think I'll stick to the double. I think it would require a very, very good fixture to go for all three. Like France to play against Curacao or something like that. So if not skip Konza for scouting bonus, then who? I've got O'Reilly in there now. M. Dot, how are we? As Canadian, Bombito is a big improvement. David versus Balogun's my main Dembele dilemma. Change Bellingham for Elise, and that's my exact attack. Sanchez scouting bonus. Yeah, I'm tempted by by Sanchez as well. Do you know what? I mean, I kind of was the one that brought it to the table, wasn't I, in terms of Sanchez's chances created, so I back myself. Go for the scouting bonus. Might as well, since we've kind of lost a few scouting bonus on some players. That should free up some budget, but what are we up to? 2.7? Vargas over Manzambe would get scouting bonus. Let's have a look at Switzerland as well. That's another one that I do want to kind of look into. Oh, that's not. Why there's so many just pop-ups and everything? Right, okay. So, XG, Vargas with the highest XG, but Manzambe, I mean, pretty similar. 0.454 XG per 90 for Manzambe, 0.5 for Vargas. Shots on target, Manzambe with 2.1, Vargas with 2, so again, pretty similar. Chances created, Vargas with more, 1.4 per 90 as opposed to Vargas's 3 per 90. Yeah, the question is though, is will they both start? Because they didn't before, did they? Oh no, they did actually before. Okay. Is it this game they didn't? Yeah, so neither of them started in that game, but I think they both started the other two. Vargas did at least. Okay. Yeah. Extra budget could go there. See what else we've got. What's affordable? 8.3. 8.3 gets me Diaz. I think Canada will be decent for clean sheet odds. Johnson's my favourite. Draft is very nice. Thank you. Too many good picks, you're not wrong. Do we do a shortlist for midfielders as well? Get this back up. Might as well, we've got the time, don't we? If you have just joined the stream in the last 5 minutes, this is my goalkeeper shortlist. And this is my defender shortlist. Muno's going to start. Yeah, he will. I don't think he started against Portugal because they were already through. Because there was quite a few Colombian players that played the first two and then were benched for the third. Pulisic and someone else over Balogun potentially. Vargas or Xhaka. Probably Vargas. I just don't like Xhaka anymore after match day 2 and match day 1. Pulisic would be a keep for me, yeah. I think Manzambi's a lock. Algeria are bad defense. It's actually a good point because what? Austria scored 3 against them. Who knows how legit that last one was, but they still scored 3. Argentina scored 3 again? Was it 3 Argentina put past them? Did anyone notice that Jordan scored in every game as well? We could have taken some note of that. Right, midfielder shortlist. Okay. Brown, is he nailed for Germany? He is when he's fit, but he is having a little bit of a fitness issue. Where do you look at player stats? I've got FOTMob for this. FOTMob. AJ, a fun and good pick. I know, a good captaincy for tonight as well. Give some interest for tonight's game. I am using the qualification booster KX, yes. Okay, let's look at some midfielders to potentially pick from. So we're looking at, I mean, Argentina, they're up there, but I mean, I wouldn't go for any more than one if I was to be picked. Do you know what? I'm not even going to include Argentina because I'm definitely going double defense and I'm definitely going Messi. So we'll leave them alone. France, I mean, I would be interested in two. Germany, probably wouldn't go there. One, if anything. England, the same. Just one based on the options there's available. USA, the same. Spain, the same. There's not a lot of midfielders in here that you would really be looking to double up on. Though, I mean, Switzerland are pretty low in the projections, aren't they? I've seen someone mention double Switzerland. It's probably a bit too far. Brazil, you've got to go Vinny. Canada, nah. Colombia, I'd take one from Colombia. Switzerland, I'd take one. Okay, and then our midfielder shortlist is going to look like Olise or Dembele. I mean, I'd probably just take Germany out there as well because I wouldn't really look at Germany. For England, it would be Bellingham. USA, it would be Pulisic. Spain is Yamal. Brazil, Vinny Jr. Colombia is Diaz. And then it would be Vargas / Manzambi. I think that would be my final midfield shortlist. And then if we do the same for attackers while we're here, because it's the same teams, it would be Messi, Mbappe, Germany is Havertz, nah, Kane, Balogun. See, the stats kind of back USA as well to score a few more goals over over Canada, so I think Balogun probably is the better option over David. Spain, you've got Oyarzabal. Brazil, I mean, the only option for Brazil would be Cunha. Canada, David. And then that's all I'd do there. So that leaves us with that. There we go. Forward shortlist. Move that over. Dewey or Musiala be including. I think there's probably no world where I pick Dewey over Dembele or Olise. And it would be very difficult for me to pick Musiala as well, I think, in midfield based on what's available. Undav, I don't think he starts, does he? I think his minutes are just a bit too much of an issue. With the amount of forwards that is available and only 3 slots, I probably wouldn't want to pick a minutes risk striker who isn't on pens and is going to be coming straight out next week as well. McKennie. I wouldn't pick him over Pulisic. Let's check USA again. If McKennie's got some good underlying stats, I'll add him to the list. Expected goals. Pulisic and McKennie are joint. Same with Tillman in there as well. Shots per 90. McKennie 1.7. It's not bad. I don't see Pulisic anywhere though, to be fair. Chances created, he's top. No big chances created though. Highest expected assists. Okay, do you know what? Fair. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of the same as a lot of the players we've kind of mentioned already, but I don't think there's a world where I do pick McKennie as one of my 5 midfielders, but I will add him. Struggling to pick a second goalkeeper outside of Martinez. I mean, this was my shortlist from earlier. Martinez, Fries, Vargas, Crepo. I probably wouldn't go anywhere else. I also just noticed that we have an update here, so let's see. Konza is no longer scouting bonus eligible. That's annoying. .1 he's now up to, so yeah, he's kind of rolled out, unfortunately. Crepo's up to 4.9 as well now. Laurenti's up to 4.9 for any of you who were there. Cunha at 4.7. Bruno G's at 4.9 as well. Konza's over, maybe he goes back below. I doubt it. I do doubt it. We'll keep an eye though. Because we can see his live ownership here. We'll keep an eye. Can you pull up Tillman's stats? 5 chances created. He's got 2 big chances created. He's got set his second for expected assists. Second for XG per 90. His stats are pretty decent as well. I think it is just the minutes for him as well though, is it not? Right, now I want to order these guys. So I would have Yamal and Vinny over Pulisic and McKennie. I'd probably have Vargas or Manzambi over Diaz, to be honest. And then be these two again over Bellingham. Who between these guys? USA 2.14, Switzerland at 1.6. I mean, yeah, I'd probably take the American midfielder before the Switzerland midfielder. The only reason I don't have it is because... Wait, where did... I forgot I had Diaz in this team. The only reason I don't have it is because I've obviously got Balogun up front. I don't want to double. Forwards, it's Messi and Mbappe. Then it would be Kane. Then Balogun. Then probably David. Then Oyarzabal. Then Cunha. So that's probably where I'm at in midfield and attack. Shithole to ball tonight. I can't believe he's actually made it back to the tournament. That would have literally been like the all-time World Cup worst performances ever. Now he's got a chance to redeem himself. Can you imagine he actually like scored goal of the tournament? 40-yarder. Haaland gets nowhere near this team. Too expensive, not good enough a fixture. Other premiums are better. You rate Oyarzabal so much lower than I do. I mean, how's his underlines been? I just think Yamal is the better pick. And now that he'll be fit, better XG per 90, less shots per 90, more shots on target per 90. Yeah, he is good. I just have him lower because of Yamal. I just think Yamal's the very easy pick, to be honest. Is Haaland not a good pick over Balogun and Kane? Not based on the fixtures, I don't think, no. You can have both. I can have both, but then I'm going into the round of 16 with Yamal and Oyarzabal against Portugal. Or Croatia. Could you show the defender and goalkeeper shortlist? I can indeed. That is it there. In order. Worried about Friest Balogun double up on USA. I'm a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of, I've not mentioned it, but it's kind of been in the back of my mind that I'm gonna have two USA players against Belgium or Senegal. The only other option would be to go for Vargas and then pick a different defender outside of Sanchez. Which could be Kimmich. Can I afford that? Can afford that? Don't mind that. Maybe go for that actually. What do we think? USA defender that needed? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Vargas plays after Martinez. So I'd literally have both my goalkeepers playing right here. Yeah, okay. Fair. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, I'll stick there. Kane and Saibari or Oyarzabal and Pulisic? Probably Kane and Saibari. I think Kane's a lot better than Oyarzabal. Saibari and Pulisic you can argue. Pulisic is probably better. But I think Kane outweighs Oyarzabal more than Pulisic outweighs Saibari. I'm playing the qualification booster this week. De Bruyne at 5%. Do we think he goes under? I think he does. He's projected to go under before the match day. What's he sitting at right now? 5.1. I think he might. He just might. Annoying with Romero because he's expected to be back, but he's just not low enough to pick him up. What England defender are you liking the most? Just O'Reilly. I don't think there's not a good enough nailed one in there that's going to get scouting bonus. I think I'll probably just go with that team. I'm looking at it and there's not really enough that I can do, I don't think, to move things about that's going to be better than what I want. How about Crepo as a goalkeeper over Friis? I don't think Crepo's going to stay under 5%. He's at 4.9 at the minute. He is not projected to go above 5, but it's a bit of a dodgy one. He's going at about 0.08 per hour, so he's going to be sitting very, very close to that 5% mark. But yeah, I don't think he'll stay under 5. No Germany players happening. The same with me. I know, annoyed because I would like a German in there. I just want a 6th defender. See if I could. I would like to play. Can I have like 6 defenders and 4 midfielders, please? And I'll take Vargas out and just go for Kimmich, and then I'll have my 6 defenders. I've still got 3, 4, 5 scouting bonus players in there, which I think is still pretty decent. Day Figueroles, he isn't starting. The lineups are out for Canada. He is not in the starting 11. Bruno G over, I think he's at 4.9. Yeah, 4.9. Khalifa, thank you very much for the donation. $5. Appreciate you very, very much. Let's have a look at your team. Crepo, Pickford, Freeman, O'Reilly, Johnston, Majica, Medina, Lamine, Bellingham, Elise, Vinicius, Vargas, Haaland, Mbappe, and Messi. What would you change? I like the team. I do like the team. I think I would pick Kane over Haaland though, personally. I know a lot of people in the chat would probably disagree because I've seen a few people mention Haaland. I think personally I would just go for Kane over Haaland. The midfield's great. The midfield is the exact same as mine, except you've got Elise over Dembele, which is like a 50-50 anyway. In defence, we've got Medina. I think I would prefer to just go for Martinez in defence, just for the nailed aspect. I don't think Medina really offers enough going forward when he could be rotated with Tagliafico. So I would go for Lisandro Martinez instead. Majica's fine. I mean, it's a Colombian defender. I've got Davinson Sanchez in there, who I do think personally is a little bit better. You can obviously get Munoz in there as well. Johnston, great. O'Reilly, great. Freeman, absolutely fine. Then you've got Pickford and Crepo as well. Keep an eye on the Crepo ownership. He's at 4.9% at the minute. But that team looks fine. I think, to be honest, looking at it, everything, like the teams that you've got from, like the teams you've got in your team is fine. I think for me, I'd just be switching a couple of players, like Medina for Martinez, Majica for Sanchez or Munoz, and then maybe just Kane over Haaland, but that's just my preference. But thank you once again for the donation. I appreciate you very much. Money in the bank, I've got 1.5. It's a lot of money in the bank. 1.5 million though, and that, like, maybe I just keep that. 1.5 million will let me take out Johnston for a better defender. Like, I'll be able to do Johnston to Dumfries, for example, in the next round. Bench players don't get the +2 bonus. The qualification bonus only goes to your starting 11. I believe it does say that in the how to play. I know you can't see the full screen, but it does say when activated it grants 2 points to any player in your starting XI who progresses. So yeah, bench players don't get it. And they must play as well, by the way. If you didn't see that part, must play at least 1 minute. Am I locked? I think I'm locked. I quite like this team. I like this team a lot. Musiala or Sané. Sané gets scouting bonus. I mean, Sané's looked better than Musiala has in this tournament, so maybe just take the gamble on Sané. It's a 1 week punt anyway. Ian, you'll probably take him out next week, so if you want to go for the punt, go for the punt. It's not like Musiala's the penalty taker or anything anyway, so. I'm using the qualification booster, which is active. If you are using the qualification booster, by the way, make sure you have activated it, because I almost didn't earlier today. So, like, I know like in everyone's mind we're using the qualification booster, but just make sure that you actually press the button for it. Let me have a quick look at this stream at the minute. 300 viewers, 85 likes. Thank you all very much for coming along. If you haven't liked the stream already, make sure to jump down and do so. If you look at the bottom left of the screen, today's goal is 150 likes. Let's try to get to 100 in the next couple of minutes. That'd be very much appreciated. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, subscribe while you're down there. Sitting at, I think, 7.1k at the minute, which is so good, but see if we can get to 7.5 before the end of the World Cup. You use, yeah, so qualification boosters active for me. Missed the deadline for wildcard. When should I use it? Oh, probably the quarterfinals then. If there's a lot of upsets in the round of 16, then use it for the quarters. Molina, I'm not the biggest fan of Molina, just based on the fact that I think we've had 3 starting Argentina right backs so far. Kinda waiting for UCL fantasy after this shit ass World Cup campaign. I'm sitting at 111k. I'm absolutely stinking it. I'm so annoyed about Matchday 3 because I was in such a good position with the wild card after the SAR haul. I was sitting at 24k with a couple of games to go, and I thought, this is it. I've done the comeback, and then I had Otamendi, Yamal, and Salah left over, and then they all absolutely stunk it out, and I got left with a 2-point captain in Otamendi. Very frustrating, but at the same time, it shows you that it's still very, very close. So we've maybe only got, I think 2 more weeks of making big gains before everyone has the same team in the quarters. Round of 16, round of 32. This is the time to kind of make the big differences. Hopefully, the players we've picked today are going to be making those differences. Let me sort the team out for now. I think I really like the way the team looks, to be honest. I'm a big fan. What have we got? Colombia can come out. And then I think it's Argentina. And Freeze. Why has that happened? Here we go. 3 Argentina players, they play second last, and then Colombia. Why is that happening? Yeah, we're good. Have you done your bracket predictions? I could do my bracket predictions. I can do it after this. I'll read a few more comments and then we can do it. Conan, Otamendi, Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, huge trolls. Yeah, Diaz was not the captaincy. What do we have? Hakimi, Saibari, Vinicius and Diaz. Pick Diaz, of course, and then Stinky. You think Switzerland, Algeria will be high scoring? I do like Mahrez. I mean, based on how Switzerland defences went in the group stage, they will concede. Probably on the 90th minute. My World Cup fantasy campaign has been so poor I've decided to start collecting Pokemon cards. We'll look at above my head. A nice wee collection going. And then if I move out the way, you'll see all the binders on the floor. Bit confused. I thought the booster only applies to 11. It does. It does. Your final 11. So, like, my starting 11, if I still sub a player out, it won't count. So, like, let's say, I know it wasn't possible, but let's say I used the qualification bonus in this round, it would have applied to my final starting 11, which is here, and then not here. So I'm pretty sure how it worked in Club World Cup Fantasy is the qualification bonus points went on as the match day finished. So it doesn't go on, like say Canada win tonight, Johnson won't get those points tonight, he'll get those points later. Right, bear with me for now. I'm going to quickly jump to the toilet, and then I'll be back. I'm going to put the music up a little bit. And then we can do bracket predictions, and we can answer a couple more questions as well, and then we'll probably beat the deadline. So I'll leave the team there as is. There we go. Right, bear with me. Right, we is back Fix that. There we go. Right. What we've been talking about. Final 11, not your... Yes, so your final 11 gets the qualification booster points. Your original 11 doesn't matter. We're up to 109 likes as well, guys. Still 218 of you in here at the minute. So make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. See if we can get the 150 goal for today. Quick bracket predictor. We might as well, right? We might as well. Let me do it in a separate tab though. Where are we? Bracket challenge. I'm hoping you can see this. I hope the screen's kind of... Is this going to see it? Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. Right, pretty straightforward. We'll zoom through this. Germany, France. I think Canada will win that tonight. I'm going to go for Netherlands to beat Morocco as well. I do think that will be fairly straightforward. Hold on. Let me do this and kind of like... What I'll do is I'll maybe... Right, hold on. I'll maybe make a video out of this since we're here. Take 5-10 minutes to do it. Hold on. Right, we're going to do a brackets prediction, and we're going to just kind of zoom through it and see who we end up as the final. Now, I obviously had my predictions out already, and I think they have been pretty much, you know, blown out the window so far. I remember a couple of teams that had the likes of Morocco, for example, going through to the semi-finals, and they've looked a lot better than expected. Now, I did my predictions video well before I did any kind of research on the World Cup. So we are back now with a group stage, after the group stage, to do our bracket prediction, and we'll see kind of how it goes. So Germany, I think, is going to be pretty straightforward. The same with France. Tonight we've got Canada versus South Africa. I'm going to go for a Canada win. I think it should be fairly comfortable. South Africa obviously looking not that great so far in the tournament, but managing second place, so you really can't go wrong. But I think it will be a Canada win here. They're now playing in America as well, which is interesting. I think Holland are going to beat Morocco. Kind of going back on my original prediction of Morocco making the semis. We're now going to go for Holland because I think they've looked pretty decent. Portugal are going to beat Croatia. Spain are going to beat Austria. USA, Bosnia, I'm going to go for like a wee 3-0. 3-0 USA here. Belgium, Senegal is quite a tough one, actually. I think I'm going to go for... Let's go for like a wee Belgium on penalties. I think that will be a pretty... Yeah, I'll go Belgium on penalties. I think maybe like a 2 each. Something like that. Brazil, Japan, I'm going to back Brazil. I think Brazil and Argentina, two South American teams that will get quite far. But I will go for Brazil. I think that could be like a 3-2 match. I don't think that's going to be a... I don't think that's going to be a wipeout or anything like that, because Japan have looked really good, but unfortunately the draw hasn't really worked for them. Ivory Coast, Norway's a tough one. I'm probably going to go against the grain here and go for Ivory Coast. I think, and like, Ivory Coast has been my dark horse team. I put a bet on before the tournament that Ivory Coast would be the furthest African team to go through. They've looked really good so far. You know, unfortunate against Germany as well, but I think they are very solid. And I don't think if like all it's going to take is Haaland to have an off game. And I think, you know, Norway could be in the mud a little bit. So I'm going to back Ivory Coast. I think they're going to go and do it. Mexico, Ecuador, I'm going to go for Mexico. Fairly straightforward, playing in Mexico. England, easy. Argentina, easy. Australia, Egypt, I'll back Egypt here. I don't like Australia, I've really been up to too much. Neither of Egypt, mind you, but not too bad. Switzerland are going to beat Algeria, and then we'll go for Colombia to beat Ghana. Into the round of 16, let's go for France to beat Germany. I think France are going to go all the way, to be honest. Mbappe, Dembele, Elise, smashing it. Germany, unfortunate, but I don't think they're getting past the round of the 16 this time. End of the road for Canada, unfortunately. Netherlands just look really, really good attacking and going forward. So no Canada for me. We've got Spain versus Portugal. This isn't going to be Ronaldo's year, unfortunately. Portugal have looked pretty poor so far, I think, if we're being honest. So yeah, we're going to go for Spain. Portugal in the mud. Unfortunately, Ronaldo retires in the round of 16. Belgium v USA. I'm tempted to go USA here, you know. Let's go for USA. I think USA are going to do it. Belgium haven't looked amazing. USA have looked pretty decent. We'll go for USA to make it through to the quarters. End of the road for Ivory Coast, unfortunately. Brazil are going to make it through. And then we'll move on to England. Now, don't take this as Scottish bias, but I'm going to put Mexico through to the quarterfinals. Now, don't turn off right there, but I just think they might. I think they are going to do it. I think they're going to make it through. In Mexico as well, I think it's going to be very difficult for England. So we're back in Mexico. Argentina to go through over Egypt again, and then Switzerland, Colombia. I'm going to back Colombia here. Switzerland struggled a little bit in the group stage, especially against the likes of Qatar and stuff. Colombia, I think, looked pretty strong, so they are going to go through there as well. Into the quarterfinals, we've got France versus Netherlands. Again, Netherlands haven't lost in 90 minutes since 2006. I think my score prediction here is going to be roughly like a 2 each, maybe even a 3 each game. I'm going to say game of the tournament in here as well. France versus Netherlands. It's going for a 3 each draw. France to win on penalties. And that'll be a good one. But unfortunately, not the year for Netherlands either. Spain versus USA. USA have had a good run. Quarterfinals is probably the best they've ever done if they make it to the quarters, which I think they should do. And then we'll go for Spain to qualify there. I'm already getting people in the chat. No way Mexico beat England. I just think, I mean, Mexico have only lost, what, 3 games? 3 games in however many years at the Azteca. Is it 3 games ever at the Azteca? I don't know. I think it's going to be hard. Very hard for England. Then we go Brazil versus Mexico. Now, this is where we move out of Mexico, so this is going to be the end of the run for Mexico. Quarterfinals, Brazil make it through, and Mexico, unfortunately, on the plane back home. Kansas, we have Argentina versus Colombia. Again, this is probably going to be the end of the Argentinian good run with Cape Verde, Egypt, and then Colombia. Pretty much an easy run for Messi through to the semis. I think Colombia will be more difficult than it is kind of looking on paper, but I'm still going to back them. I think it's going to be the year for Messi again. Into the semis, we've only got 2 games remaining. France versus Spain. Probably the hardest game to predict. Very, very difficult one to predict there. Spain, and I mean, I think they are the 2 favourites, aren't they? 2 European teams. A hard one to go for, I think. Hard one to go for. I'm going to go for France. I think France, attacking-wise, just look really good. Spain have looked okay. Not up to too much. Not World Cup winning performances, in my opinion. The likes of Yamal hasn't really showed what he's capable of so far. Gonna go for France. Mbappe masterclass, Dembele masterclass, Elise masterclass, knocking Spain out of the competition in the semis. Then we have Brazil, Argentina, another really, really hard one. But we're going to go for Argentina. We're going to go for Argentina again to beat Brazil. I feel like anytime I watch Argentina, Brazil, Argentina end up the winners. But that's what we're going to go for. I think it's another one that's really hard to predict because it's like a derby game. Can go either way. But Lionel Messi brings it home. And we go into the final, back-to-back France versus Argentina finals. Messi versus Mbappe. I think it's going to be another really good game. Another game where Messi scores 2, Mbappe scores 2. Kind of all over the place. But Mbappe gets his revenge. Mbappe finishes with another World Cup title. And maybe overtakes Messi in goals, I think. Well, no, that's going to be very difficult, actually. Very high chances that Messi finishes with the Golden Boot based on these fixtures. But I think Mbappe overall is going to take the win. Or Dembele. Is it Dembele's French team now? Who knows? But that's what we're going to go for. France to win the World Cup, beating Argentina. And we'll save it. Chose France as my champion. Right. Back to fantasy. Can zoom back in again. We've got 15 minutes left. Chloe, can you show us what brand binders you use for Pokemon cards after the deadline? I can do, yeah. I would take 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, and I'll show you what I've got. My team is set, yeah. I'm confident with this team. I like this team a lot. There's everyone's sitting here. The only player I feel like I'm really missing out on that I know I probably could get in is Kimmich. But that's fine. That's okay. Remember to use the booster. Yes, I've activated it. Schlotterbeck's better than Johnson. Schlotterbeck is injured. And I believe might be missing the rest of the tournament. $129 likes, guys. 21 likes to the goal for today. If you haven't liked the video, make sure to jump down and do so. Haaland could be a 12th man. Can you use the 12th man? I mean, it's really not that bad. If you've still got a 12th man chip sitting there, I think it's a really good week to use it. Definitely a really good week to use it. If I still had it, I'd be using it on Kane. Got an 8-7 split. I'm trying to think in terms of qualification as well. Is 12 points enough to keep as captain? I would probably... I think for me, 13 or 14. I know it's such a minimal difference, but yeah, I think it would be 13 or 14 for me. I can't find the boost on my laptop, only on my phone. Now that's a weird one. That is a weird one. I really hope it's active for me then if I've not done it on my phone. Right, what I'm going to do, just to make sure, I'm going to turn the webcam off and I'm going to quickly check, because now that you've said that, I'm really hoping mine's is active, so I'm going to quickly check the app. Bear with. Yes, okay, we're active. All good. All good here. Can't find the boost on. Oh no, sorry, I've already read that one. Elise and Lisandro Martinez and Dembele, or Dembele and Medina. Probably Elise and Martinez for me. I think Elise and Dembele just as a 50-50, so just whoever you prefer out of Martinez and Medina. For me, I think Martinez is a little bit more nailed. Y Johnston, as a captain for tonight, he's looking like the best creative player for Canada. They're likely to go through. Clean sheet odds are decent. I think he's a nice option to pick up. And I also want to check here as well to make sure and see where some of the percentages are at. So as of 15 minutes ago, Konza was still at 5.1, so he is very unlikely to drop down. Crepo, he's creeping up. Why England? They look poor. No, I mean, still a good fixture though. Hold on, let me show you the bench. There you go. Now we get 4 transfers after this week. Best Argentina defender on your screen. Trossard and Dembele, or Theo and Trossard, Dembele and Theo, or Dembele, Elise and Cucurella. It would be Dembele or Elise and Cucurella for sure, I think. When you get the 2-point boost, is at the end of the match week or after the player progresses? I'm pretty sure it's at the end of the match week. I'm pretty sure that all those points go on once the match week finishes. Pacho, nah, not against. I think he's very unlikely to qualify. I think it's going to be a Mexico week. What site is that? I've put it. See if you scroll up in the chat. I've put the link in there as well. I probably should have. Pinned it. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Pin. There you go. Pinned in the chat. Ten minutes to go. Get those questions in. Thoughts on triple French, Mbappe, Elise and Dembele? I don't mind it. It's personally not what I would do. I think I would like to spread a little bit more. I don't think Sweden is the kind of fixture where I'd be tripling up on an attack. I definitely would want the double at the very least though. What do you think of triple Belgium? Oh, I'm not even sure Belgium beat Senegal, to be honest. I think if you want someone from Belgium, you've got to pick at least one, or maximum one. Best keeper that isn't Martinez, can afford any and have Vargas already. Frege? That's a milkshake. Fries or Crepo. But I don't know, where's Crepo for ownership? Let's see. I know we did just check this, didn't we? Still at 4.9. It's going to be close. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. My goalkeepers are Martinez and Fries. Am I locked in? I am indeed. I'm not making any more moves. I'm happy with the way the team looks. No Munoz, no. Decided to go Davinson Sanchez for the scouting bonus. Not prefer a German player over England like Wirtz? Nah, I mean, I think they've both kind of got like on par with the level of fixture in Matchday 4. It's just that I'll be able to keep the English one for the round of 16 as well. Whoever I bring in for Germany is just going to have to get transferred out. Which player do you have the highest risk of underperforming based on their fixture? Now you're answering the serious questions. I'm going to say Vinicius Jr. Haaland. Yeah, let's go for that. Vinicius and Haaland. I know I've got Vinicius, but I can't really not go for Vinicius. But yeah, I'll go Vinicius and Haaland for underperforming. Isn't David more likely to score than Balogun? I don't think so. I think the projections have Balogun sitting about 4th or 5th, I think, for score chances. I think he'll be great as well. I would expect Balogun to score this week, and I've already got Canada cover with Johnson in defence. Using the qualification chip, qualification booster. Are we sure on Johnston? It's a nice punt, a good punt. If he does well, fantastic. If he doesn't, we just sub him off. I think all of my punts so far, all my early punts have actually not paid off so far, but Kufal, 4 points. We had Kufal again, 2 points. Did I have anyone else? Elvedi with 1 there. Round 3, I ended up gambling on Katic, 2 points. Yeah, none of my early punts have paid off yet, but this one's gonna be different. This one's gonna be different. Do you think KDB goes under 5? Let's see. Oh, he's sitting bang on. I think he will, you know. I think he probably will. It's going to be very, very tough. But I think there's a good chance, based on this graphic, that like he's already touching the line and going under the line. I think he very, very much could go under 5% here. But it's risky. It's risky. Is Medina nailed? I don't think so. I think it could be Tagliafico in there. Captaincy order, just as the games go. I'm not 100%, like just the order of games. I'll be picking Mbappe over Dembele. I'll be picking Messi. I'll be picking Yamal over Cucurella. No chance Konza goes under 5. I don't think so, unfortunately. He's still sitting at 5.1. Yeah, probably not. Why have you not got a USA defender? I've got the USA goalkeeper, so I'm still covering that off. Not fancy Pulisic. Not over the midfielders I've got. And I think Balogun has more haul potential than Pulisic does. Ian, hello, how are we? Gone Mbappe, Elise and Dembele. Need a big score then. Need a big score. Only 4 more likes to go. John, thank you for reminding me. What are we at? Must be 146 then, surely. 145 likes at the minute. Guys, if you haven't liked the stream yet, jump down. Give it a quick like. See if we can get that today's goal of 150. Japan and Brazil predictions. I'm going to go 3-2 Brazil. Would you go O'Reilly or Martinez? If I had to pick one, thank you, John. 153 likes. Appreciate you all. Between O'Reilly and Martinez, I go Martinez. Argentina defense for me takes absolute priority. Does vice captain actually matter? It doesn't. You just want to make sure that you don't leave your vice captain on someone that hasn't played, because I've seen a few people that left their vice, like they just left their vice captain going and going. You don't want to leave it so that it's your last player, because then it doesn't let you captain them. So I'm going to put it on Freese right now, because I know I'm not going to be captaining Freese, because I'm going to captain Balogun. But if you've got 2 players from the same country, stick the vice captain on the one that you're not going to be captaining, and that way you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. Thoughts on Oyarzabal? Not like, he's probably decent, and he's still a good pick. He was on my short list, but I wouldn't be picking him over Yamal. Kane or Haaland? Kane, absolutely Kane. If Mbappe scores 2, will you gamble on Messi? I mean, if Mbappe gets 14 points or more, then no. I'll just stick it on Mbappe. De Bruyne's still looking like he's going to drop under 5. Why not Brown from Germany? If I was picking anyone from Germany, I'd end up going for Kimmich. I'm actually quite proud of myself that I've stuck on the same team for about half an hour. That's always a good sign. What do I think about Cunha? I like him. I think there is better forwards though. I mean, Vinicius covers Brazil. Got a minute left. Just under 1 minute. Make sure, I want everyone to check right now. Make sure you've locked your team in, and make sure you've activated the booster that you're using. Hold on, I've got fix that. Oh. You've got a killer team. What game am I most looking forward to? Probably Brazil. Can I even watch that though? Yeah, 6 PM tomorrow. Probably Brazil. Yeah, Brazil, Japan I think will be entertaining. I picked Johnson, you've convinced me. Fingers crossed he does well. Kickoff is pretty much now locked in. Now, I did promise, I can't remember who asked in the chat, hope you're still here. Yeah, there we go, we're locked in. Nice, nice, nice. I promised I'd show off this, so let me show. So I've got the Vault X binders, as you can see. George, thank you very much, appreciate it. And these ones are zip binders, and they open up nicely. Ta-da! So yeah, Vault X is where I've got my binders from. But yeah, I think that's us. Go and watch the game. Argentina, Colombia times are so annoying for subs and captaincy. I know, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I think it's time to go and watch then, I think. That's us, pretty much, for unlimited transfers now. Organised by type or collection. This one is purely just based on the guys I like. So I've got Snivy at the front, and then I've got Zekrom, Reshiram, and I'm kind of like moving between other ones. Like I've got N here, who's the trainer. I've got like a Kieran page here, like a ghost type page as well. Yeah. I've got a couple other like master sets and stuff like that. I'm trying to fully master set Black Bolt and White Flare. Expensive. That's all I'll say. But yeah, couple binders, stuff like that. No worries, Nanny. How many points do I think I'll get with this team? I mean, I'm hoping for 100 plus. I haven't managed to hit that yet, but yeah, I hope so. I need 100 plus, otherwise it's game over. Gerben, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Best of luck to you as well. Why no German defender? I was in and out with it. I was close to having Kimmich. I was close to having Ta. Ended up not doing it in the end. But yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it. Thank you all very much for coming along. We managed to hit the like goal, so thank you all very, very much. Appreciate you all. Best of luck for the round of 32. Obviously active over on Twitter if you do have any questions, anything like that. And yeah, I'll pop off now. So I'm just going to quickly fix this while I'm here. Move the chat over because it seems to be stuck. There we go. Right. Appreciate you all. Samantha, thank you. Almighty Tiger. Let's see how it goes. Ian, not wrong. Ian, not wrong. Right. Thanks, guys. Best of luck.